Here's another version of the prodigal son, paraphrased from Luke 15, verses 25 through 32. Now that young brother had an older brother who was in the field when his younger brother returned. When he came back to the house, he heard music and dancing. He called one of the servants and asked what was going on. "Sir, your brother has come home. Your father is hosting a big party because he is home, safe and sound." Well, the older brother was really angry. "I'm not going to any party." His father came out and begged him to come. But the big brother argued, "Listen, Dad, for years I've done all the work for you. I've never let you down. Yet you have never given me a party with my friends. But when this son of yours comes home, the one who has wasted all the money you gave him, you roll out the red carpet for him." His father shook his head. "Son, you are always with me. Everything I own now is yours. But we had to celebrate today. Your brother was dead to us, but now he has come back to life. He was lost, but now he's found."
Do not fall in love with people like me, the poet Caitlin Seal writes. Do not fall in love with people like me. I will take you to museums and parks and monuments and kiss you in every beautiful place so that you can never go back to them without tasting me like blood in your mouth. I will destroy you in the most beautiful way possible. And when I leave, you will finally understand why storms are named for people. I will destroy you in the most beautiful way possible. And when I leave, you will finally understand why storms are named for people. Powerful. I think it's fair to say most of us have been swept up in the whirlwind of someone else's unkindness or thoughtlessness or cluelessness or ruthlessness or brokenness. And whether it's a microburst or a tsunami, we emerge wounded, a scratch here, a shattered heart there. You see, there is always damage, sometimes absolute devastation. Yet more often than not, it is out of sight and through monumental efforts of will, out of mind. Now, 2 weeks ago, we talked about the importance of forgiveness, why God calls us to move beyond the trespasses unleashed upon us by others. I shared why forgiveness is so hard, yet why it matters so much to God, how resentment and anger leak out in our lives, how they can make us physically sick, how hurt people hurt others, how we all deserve healing, and how as Christians it is what God commands us to do. Last week, we discussed the first step in the forgiveness journey, as described by Desmond Tutu and his granddaughter Umfo in their book of forgiving. We discussed when, how, and to whom to tell our stories. The importance of getting our facts straight, standing back objectively from the experience, and most importantly, sharing with someone who can listen and validate us and support us in this healing work. Today, I want to talk about the second step in the fourfold path, naming our hurts. Isn't this the same as telling your story? You may ask. Well, yes and no. It's one thing to talk about what happened that caused us pain. It's quite another to talk about the pain itself. To feel the sting of betrayal, the ache of a broken heart, the fire of shame, the weight of guilt, and how about anger? How many of you have ever felt a churning in your stomach, tightness in your chest, a rapid fire pulse, weakness in your knees, clenched muscles, heat in your skin, sweaty palms, a pounding head, shaking, trembling, and even dizziness? All of these can be physical signs of anger. And don't think they diminish with denial. They just go underground like a subterranean toxic brew. So how do we go about naming our hurts? One could say there are 4 steps. Number 1, identify your feelings. As my grandson Tucker says, "I'm having big feelings right now, Daddy." Big feelings are scary. What if they swallow us up? What if they last forever? Is it any wonder we ignore and avoid naming that which causes us pain? You know, for those who have experienced trauma, naming feelings may well be the hardest task of all. Why? Because in heroic acts of self-protection, survivors shut down their emotions. Oh, they can tell the facts of their story forever, but naming how the pain actually feels? No way. I'll never forget visiting the Kelvin Grove Art Museum in Glasgow after a particularly difficult time in my life. There in the main hall, suspended from thin wires in the ceiling and eerily lit, were 50 sculpted heads, each displaying a different human emotion. I remember standing there, literally breathless, thinking, gosh, I feel this, and wow, I feel that. I think I was shaking. You see, in my pain and hurt, I had forgotten how to feel. Maybe some of you have buried feelings of hurt deep in your soul. Don't be afraid to start with the basics: mad, sad, glad, scared. You know that chart in the hospital the nurse brings in to assess your pain, the one with the happy to sad faces? If naming your hurt is difficult, Google a palette of emojis. I'm not kidding. If you have worked at numbing your pain, especially for many years, this may be a good place to start. As you get better at checking in with your emotional self, consider the degree of what you're feeling. Where are you on the cool to burning a hole in your soul scale? Remember, above all things, you cannot heal an unnamed wound. Number 2, accept your feelings. How quick we are to judge ourselves, not only what we do or say, but how we feel. Think about the cultural rules still imposed upon us. Men shouldn't cry. Women shouldn't get mad. Children shouldn't feel afraid, and nobody should feel depressed. Who makes these rules? Reverend Martin Elford puts it this way: in our culture, we have an often pathological relationship with hurt. We say, I'm over it. We say, I've moved on. We say, it's no big deal. But more often than not, what we really mean is, I am not talking about this, but I am furious. Maybe we even mean I'm seething, I'm shaking with unnamed anger and resentment. Give yourself permission to ask God for the courage to name exactly how you feel hurt by another. Then give yourself permission to own that hurt. Denying your feelings is disempowering. Ironically, it's only when we name the hurt and claim the hurt we can reframe the hurt and find peace at last. Number 3, share your feelings. Once you have identified your feelings and accepted those feelings, it may be time to share your hurts. Now, maybe that sharing takes place in a journal, or in a poem, or in a work of art. Maybe it takes the form of a prayer, opening your inmost self to God, putting words and images on a page you see can powerfully diffuse the energy of what you are experiencing. If you choose to tell another person, as I said last week, who you choose to tell is critically important. Never assume it is the person who hurt you. If you tell your story to the wrong person, someone who challenges or invalidates your reality, that's bad. Now imagine sharing your feelings with the wrong person. Just when you make yourself utterly vulnerable, that person dismisses your hard-earned pain, or worse, denies your right to feel it. You shouldn't be afraid, Bobby. Big boys don't get scared. Or, don't feel angry, Mary. It's unbecoming for a lady. And you just want to scream or die. Right? Step number 4, share your feelings the right way. Now, I know you probably know this, but I'm going to mention it anyway, just in case. When you share your feelings, they are yours, not anyone else's. So use those I statements, as in, I feel, fill in the blank. Even when we know better, how many of us devolve into, you made me feel, or I feel this way because you. Not only does this language guarantee a confrontation, it also strips you of your ability to heal. Think about it. If someone else is responsible for controlling your emotions, then unless they change, you are destined for misery. Paul writes to the church in Rome, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, so that you may discern the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. In short, transformation comes from the inside out. It is our journey, and ours alone to make. Now, that young brother had an older brother who was in the field when his younger brother returned. When he came back to the house, he heard music and dancing. He called one of the servants and asked what was going on. Sir, your brother has come home. Your father's hosting a big party because he's home safe and sound. Well, the older brother was really angry. I'm not going to any party. His father came out and begged him to come in. But the big brother argued, listen, Dad, I'm feeling really unappreciated. For years, I've done all the work for you. I've never let you down. His father placed his hand on his son's shoulder. I totally understand why you would feel this way, son. I love you so much, and you are always with me. Everything I have is yours. Do you think you can understand how I might feel? I thought your brother was dead, and now he has come back to life. He was lost, and now he's found. Please, come be by my side. My friends, as we gingerly, carefully, timidly, reluctantly, bravely, and lovingly take these baby steps on the fourfold path to forgiveness, please know God loves you so much. Do you think you can understand how God feels? You were lost, and now you are being found. May God bless you always. Amen.